Hey folks, how's it going? You all know I'm a big Second Amendment advocate. Firearms are my hobby. I work on them. I go shooting constantly. If you've seen the channel, you know. So I don't know if any of you saw this pass the other day. President Trump signed this executive order on the 7th of February, protecting Second Amendment rights. We all know during the Biden administration that they tried to pretty much destroy the Second Amendment with endless lawsuits, um, unconstitutional regulations from the ATF, which is an agency that needs to be reined in. I think it needs to be abolished altogether. With their definitions on like force reset triggers, binary triggers, um, uh, bump stocks and braces opposed to stocks. Does it brace make an AR pistol all of a sudden a short barreled rifle? We all know all about that. Well, President Trump signed this executive order the other day protecting Second Amendment rights, and this is what it says. Executive Order, February 7th, 2025. By the authority vested in me as President by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Section 1, Purpose. The Second Amendment is an indispensable safeguard of security and liberty. It has preserved the right of the American people to protect ourselves, our families, and our freedoms since the founding of our great nation, because it is foundational to maintaining all other rights held by Americans. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Section 2A. Section 2, Plan of Action. A. Within 30 days of the date of this order, the Attorney General shall examine all orders, regulations, guidance, plans, international agreements, and other actions of executive departments and agencies to assess any ongoing infringements of the Second Amendment rights of our citizens and present a proposed plan of action to the President through the Domestic Policy Advisor to protect Second Amendment rights of all Americans. Now, a lot of people are praising Pam Bondi because of, she supports Trump, what she's done in the past, but while she was a Florida Attorney General, she instituted and was all for red flag laws, which leads to confiscation, things like that. So I'm not big on Pam Bondi. Okay. Now, Section B. In developing such a proposed plan of action, the Attorney General shall review at a minimum all presidential agencies' actions from January 2021 through January 2025 that purport to promote safety but may have impinged on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. We know all the anti-gun groups and all the anti-gun politicians, they use the term gun safety laws or gun safety regulations when they really mean is gun confiscation or gun bans. Okay, 2. Rules promulgated, I can't talk this morning, by the Department of Justice, including by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives from January 2021 through January 2025, pertaining to firearms and or federal firearms licensees. We all know the ATF was trying to shut down FFL holders, gun shops, if they made one little clerical error. And it did happen. So hopefully that gets fixed. Okay. 3. Agencies' plans, orders, and actions regarding the so-called enhanced regulatory enforcement policy pertaining to firearms and or federal firearms licensees. 4. Reports and related documents issued by the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, which was started by the Biden administration. And I believe they're in the process of abolishing that. They got to review what they tried to do first. 5. The positions taken by the United States in any and all ongoing potential litigation that affects or could affect the ability of Americans to exercise their Second Amendment rights. We all know there's several cases there are a couple of cases sitting at the Supreme Court. They haven't said if they're going to grant cert to them to hear them this session. I hope they do. That's the case out of Illinois, I believe, or no, Maryland, pertaining to assault weapons and standard capacity magazines. And then there's the case out of my state with Ocean State Tactical of Rhode Island, versus the state of Rhode Island about our standard capacity magazine limit that was instituted about 3 years ago now. So if hopefully those cases are going to be reviewed, and I don't know. Let's see what happens in 30 days. So it'll be March 7th, March 9th, because today's the 9th. They got 30 days to come up with a plan of action. Let's see what happens. Okay, 6. Actually, the position taken by the United States in any and all ongoing potential litigation that affects or could affect the ability of Americans to exercise their Second Amendment rights. Agencies' classifications of firearms and ammunition, and the processing of applications to make, manufacture, transfer, or export firearms. We all know it's illegal to manufacture your own firearms. That's covered by law, as long as you don't sell it. Section 3, implementation. Upon submission of the proposed plan of action described in Section 2 of this order, the Attorney General shall work with the Domestic Policy Advisor to finalize the plan of action and establish a process for implementation. Section 4, general provisions. A, nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect. I just got a notice and it distracted me. The authority granted, nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect the authority granted by law to an executive department, agency, or the head thereof, or the functions of the director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, or legislative proposals. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriations. I'm sorry, I'm mumbling, folks. I'm just really tired. I had to shovel snow this morning. This order is not intended to and does not create any right or benefit, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law, or in equity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. So let's see what happens in the next 30 days and what the Department of Justice is going to do. Can they influence the Supreme Court to take cases? I don't know. Any legal scholars out there, please correct me if I'm wrong with any of this, or like what can the DOJ do? I'd like to know, because God knows our rights have been infringed for as long as I've been a kid. So hopefully we get some good news on this. I think that's about it for now. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see here, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch all of you folks later. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to never miss an episode, and thanks for watching.